Hey guys, this is Manshark Sub LPs. I'm Sub, this is Crusader Kings II, and this is Millennia in the Making, episode 137. We're currently playing as Kaiser Arnulf, the Great of the Holy Roman Empire, and he's the grandson of Kaiser Wilhelm III, who himself was the son of Kaiser Wilhelm II, so on and so forth, all the way back to Duke Otto of Saxony, our starting character. We've also managed to pick up a Kinslayer trait because we didn't think last episode, but it's alright. Our diplomacy is still manageable, and if we eventually lose it before we die, which we may not, either way, we'll get 3 more points here, because Kinslayer is -3 diplomacy as well as the other effects. My son here is in a great position to inherit, excuse me, despite being outraged and considering me dishonorable and all that sort of jazz. And we're in a bunch of wars. What's this? 6 wars down here. So we're attacking Scotland as an ally in the rebellion up here, so that's great. Let's just get an attack going on there. We're helping out this guy, an adventurer, in the his fight for Perm up here. Yep, coming along pretty well, I've got to say. I mean, we're taking a bit of attrition, but it's nothing unmanageable. We should be able to win that for him, despite him already being at -64% due to battles. We're here now, so don't worry about that sort of stuff. We're involved in the Holy Roman Holy War for Oman, so that's all of that. That'll be good to take off the Hashemid. Let's just get that going. We're involved in a lot of wars. The Holy Roman Holy War for Sarkel, which is this bit here. So that's coming along. And a war down here for Songhai. I believe it was for the Mali part of Songhai. Yes, so just this bit here. We're just trying to press our claims around a bit. And lastly, an unfortunate peasant revolt. Now this peasant revolt, 5,300 men. Normally I just get one of my retinues over to deal with it, but I remembered we made the King of Arabia. Now Arabia isn't such a great place now because we haven't given it the southern tip of the peninsula. But on any of these provinces, we can raise the entirety of the army. So that's 3,762 troops just from Arabia. That's all we'll get from there, but we can raise them up in any one of these provinces, so it's kind of like an instant transport thing, which is a bit hacks, but let's just ignore that for the moment. The point here is that I can raise some troops up here, and maybe up here, and join them together, assuming that the peasants don't come at me, bro. So let's try that. So we get 1,600 out of there, 800 out of there. Anything out of Alhabaria? Yep, wonderful. We send them into Marn, because Marn does have a decent supply limit for us. And we're just going to wait for them to get there, because they all have fairly long transport times, being newly raised up vassal levies. Of course, we can't, we can't declare any more wars at this stage, because we have raised up those vassal levies. Little problem. Not too big of a deal, to be quite honest. Where was that other fight that we just won? I know there was one, guys. Don't fool with me. Was it down here? I think it was down here. Yeah, it must have been this one. And it was! Let's get that speed back up to where we normally have it. Very good, I have end plots still on. Perfect. We may die a Kinslayer. It's not actually a big concern. And we're only dishonorable because we had to murder all of my wife's lovers. For reasons. Oh, good, Siege of Gao. We dragged a bunch of people out of there. How's that going, buddy? You, oh, war is indecisive. Oh, fair enough. He is besieging Dijon, and anytime that I try and move in there, he will basically move out, so we're just going to try and get these sieges done fairly nicely. Excuse me. See, these guys are quickening up a bit, but it's still going to be in January before they can get here. That's alright. I'll raise these troops up now, so that they can start recovering their morale. They recover at, let's see, almost 12% a week, so they recover quickly. But, you know, it's just something you've got to be wary of. Looks like we're below the, below the supply limit. That's good. Now we're above it. But we've taken the entire thing, so that's a positive. Let's move to all of these places. Oh, Mancia here. Now the difference is that the ones where we have really shitty supply limits count as Arctic. You can see here Perm counts as Arctic. Even Komi here counts as Arctic. Yamelia is Arctic. Ural is mountains. Mancia is forest. So let's move into Mancia, where we actually can, you know, do something with our troops. Did Turkestan get released? Yeah, they have a truce with Khiva for another 4 years. They must have been released in some way. As much as I'm attacking Khiva right now, I do want them to be strong. Really, bro? Only 140 gold. I believe that's because our monthly balance is shithouse, and that's probably due to the fact that we've taken a few, you know, bits of damage, we've raised up some troops, you know, the usual. They're not personal troops though, so it shouldn't be costing us that much. Oh, whatever. There, we're back in positives now. And yeah, this should be more than enough troops to get rid of this peasant rebellion. Ah, let it rot. Alright, so we're now at 74% in this war, and it's only going to increase from here. I would like to take these things before he takes that province, just to see how well we can press the supply. Not supply, the war score. Our marshal died, so we need to find a new marshal. Well, let's hire the best man for the job. Now, Count Franz is currently in this army here. I'm content with leaving him there. He should get +1. Yep. I'm content with leaving him there because our marshal never really does anything apart from, what do you call it? Raising additional troops. And that's honestly not such a big worry for me because, like, while it's nice to have those additional troops, we're only using them to sort of dissuade factions and, well, the independence faction, the worst faction of the lot, is at 6%. We are completely fine there. When the new guy takes over after Kaiser Arnulf dies, we may look into pulling him out of the army and putting him, excuse me, putting him in a training role. Just to, you know, get things going. We should now win. Yes, we have won the Holy Roman Holy War for Oman. Let's have it. There we go. Always a little bit of lag when you're transferring a lot of provinces. So, that's all of these around here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a pretty nice duchy. 6 holdings, and I believe most of them are really good holdings. I mean, so far, Hajar has the lowest. Yeah, I mean, look at these. These all have a lot of buildings in them, and most of them are already built up. This one's probably one of the worst. Yep. Yeah, so it's only got 2 provinces which don't have a lot, and that's Marar and Dukum. Dhofar has 4 holdings, Muscat has 6, Hajar has 4, and Duzabi has 5. That's amazing. Now, where was the duchy capital? Muscat. Gotcha. So, let's see. Welf, how are you? Not great. Lambert, not great. Hey, let's just click around the castles that we've gotten and see if anybody has a decent stewardship. He does, okay. Baron Feitmar. And Wolfer here isn't that wonderful either. Alright, so what we're going to do, Wolfar can have his land here, so that was the county of Dezavi. Feitmar can have his land, which was the county of Hajar. But then we're going to make a duchy, the Duchy of Oman. It's a pretty boring coat of arms, but at least it isn't for Carlings. And we're going to give that and all associated territory to my buddy, Count Feitmar. Now then, this is critical. See, he wants control of the Duchy of Oman, and in all honesty, he should have it. So I'm going to transfer vassalage, the Duke of Oman. Done. Now let's join these troops up, give them some leaders. Let's give them some guys who hate us. Just in case. So the Duke of Lancaster, the Duke of East Anglia, and the Grand Mayor of Pisa. No. Let's try... Ugh, God. Yeah, the Mayor of Pisa, whatever. So they should still win this fight, assuming that they catch up to the guys. But there's a little chance that the commanders may die, and that would only be good for us, because those guys never liked us, and we can be all like, oh my god, I'm so sorry that your father died. It's such a tragedy, such a big tragedy. Do we have a truce with the Chilonids at the moment? We must do. What about Nubia? Can we do anything with Nubia? Nope. Can't do anything with the Hashemids for another 10 years. We've got a truce with the Sharazids. Ugh. Well, this army should just move on up to here in preparation for something. How are the other fights doing? You're doing fine. You're getting a nice little besiegey thing going on. You haven't moved out yet, but you will in several months. Right? At least by the time they move out, these guys should have their troops back, which means that this army down here can't retake it. How are we doing down here? 6 days before we can assault this place, and we will be assaulting it. There we are. Let's have a look up in Scotland. Things are going wonderfully up here. Chortitza, sorry, has converted to the Catholic faith. That's cool. Our chaplain is not doing any sort of conversion work. He's researching cultural tech. And that's getting us a fairly decent rate of increase in popular and religious customs. I think those have actually increased since we last looked at them. Which is good because we've been neglecting those for legalism. Okay, now these guys should move out to... go to Buchan. Up there, because my wife owns Moray and Inskal and the Isle of Man. So I don't particularly want to, be aggressive against my wife. Not that it matters. I mean, it doesn't actually have an effect, apart from, maybe we'll kidnap someone or something like that. It's not a big deal. This guy wants to fabricate a claim on the Duchy of Nicaea. Now, this guy hates me for fairly obvious reasons. We must have usurped a bunch of his titles. So, we can't tell him to end the plot, so we'll just imprison him. And if we need to, we can get a +10 opinion boost from him against everybody else. But we don't really need that because we're fine. Only a few people don't like us, and most of them don't matter. Going to accept? Nope. But he has abandoned his siege to move into Goma. Now that's interesting. Just checking travel times on those were kind of ridiculous. I wonder if we can attack into Germa. How long does it take us? A while, okay. So maybe we should try to move to Dijon and then move into Germa from there. We'll try that. We are getting a ticking war score, which is good. And I don't feel like he can actually take this place before our ticking war score gets there. But I'd like to, you know, deal with it. This guy has moved out of Petra. Bloody typical. Oh well. We'll complete the move into Petra and then move into Montreal. Just because I feel like the distance moving will be quicker from Petra to Montreal instead of from wherever we are, from Marne, if we changed it like that. You know what? Let's see if we can assassinate the Sultan of the Hashemite Empire, or Sultanate. Because if we can, things will just be a bit easier for us. I've got a 13%. Let's see what plot power we get just on the basis of things, and then we can start paying people money. Wonderful opinion boost with the Hansa. Join up, bro. Oh, a bit of lag there. Yeah, that's only going to take us a few days to move out. He's going to still evade us and head into Bishab. But that's alright, we'll just keep chasing him until we catch him. Okay, so we have 55.7% plot power. Let's just call that 56. So we can get up to 69, giggity, and then we can get up to 80, 88, 94. 94 is as high as we can go here, that's not worth it, so cancel that plot. What about the Chillinid? God, no. Alright. I'm leery about attacking into Kiva and the Sharazid Shardam at this point in time, purely because we're about 10 years out from Mongols, I think. What about you? Do we have a truce of you? Looks like it. Whenever you have the thing that says, you know, your name can afford to lose X prestige, that's because you've got a truce. We probably can't assassinate him, and well, even if we could, he's Catholic, so it would give us more dishonorable penalties if we were found. What about Ruthenia? Yeah, we've got a truce with him. 66%. Let's give that a shot. Whoops. Piss off. And see how that goes. Like, see if we can get the plot power that we need. Because we do have an army in the area. Is he under attack from someone? Yes. And he's... right. So one of my guys has declared the war for Novgorod-Seversky. So if we came into it, we wouldn't be hostile with most of his force, which is great. But we'd claim for Bryansk. And that way when our guys win their war, which they're well on the way to doing, they're 36% winning, we would be able to just wipe Ruthenia from the map, basically. Wonderful. I'm hoping that we can get enough war score here for our guy to manage to get victory. I mean, we've just ripped through some provinces, so we're now down at 19%. Minus 19, that is. All of these places have 15. We're going to have to split this army, so let's split it. Assign some leaders in the appropriate places who aren't my heir. Eckhart wasn't really a great choice for that position. Let's actually have a look at that. Eckhart. So Eckhart has the Holy Warrior trait. We've been over this before. You get more defense from it. You also have a defense penalty, but against religious enemies you get a damage bonus. That's what I meant earlier, damage penalty. Words, subby. So, all up, on the baseline of things, against Catholics, he has a minus 10 to damage. Against anybody else, he has a plus 20% to damage. Now, That changes a bit when you look at the modifier due to martial. See, depending on your martial stat, you get a multiplier effect. So his defense should normally be 10%, or plus 10%, because he has 14 points in martial. It gets a 1.7 modifier on that, which makes it plus 17%. Now here's the real kicker. Damage, normally at minus 10%. His martial stat gives him a times 0.3 modifier, so that only becomes minus 3%. His damage against religious enemies should normally be 30%. 1.7 modifier on that becomes 51%. So against religious enemies, he's now doing plus 48% damage. That's fucking huge. So everybody's doing their little moves. That's all good. That's all good. Let her rot. I don't pay attention to who these people are in my prison anymore. Okay, that's going fine. Troops are still moving up like that. I'm not too sure what they're going to do. Do we have a truce with this guy? We do. We could offer to join his war. Could also offer to join this guy's war, because holy shit, he's pretty awesome. So let's offer to join his war. You can offer to join wars regardless of whether you have vassal troops raised. And by doing this, this guy here should like us, because we're helping him out a lot. So when he accepts, also a genius, that's pretty phenomenal. Shame he's English. His wife's English too, so that's a pain in the ass. Oh. Yep, whatever. Ah, these guys are still running away. Okay, we gotta catch him this time, seriously. Yeah, we've caught him. Okay, yep, so he's accepted our offer, so now we are at 57 opinion, because we have plus 25 modifier with him. Fight. Okay, so despite our use of suboptimal commanders, we should still win this. Let it rot. The only issue here is we may not be able to assault these places as reliably as before. But that's honestly fine. Alright, that battle was a success. We didn't destroy the rebel army, but now we can chase them down and destroy them gradually. Wow, that guy was 86% of the way to losing his shit, and purely through ticking war score. So, the faster our army gets up here, the better. Because holy shit. That ticking war score. Our guy must have just done nothing for it. Where is he even? Yep, he's sitting in England. Being boring. Did I tell you to cancel your plot? Yep, he's trying to kill the Duke of Oman for reasons. It's fine. Okay, just getting rid of some Scotland sort of stuff here. Yep, looks like we had another battle down here. We still haven't defeated all of the rebels. They're now going to Jerusalem itself, so we'll follow them around. They won't accept the enforced demand. Oops, that's actually Songhai. Yep, they won't accept the enforced demand. That's fine. Right, speaking of Songhai, it will take us just over a month to get into Gurma. They don't look to be moving. Yep, there we go. They'll move out on the 3rd. We'll get there on the 22nd of July with 1. Also, this ticking war score, seriously. Did we have a truce with Mali? We did. So let's see. No, no valid plots. Why is that? Because we're trying to assassinate the King of Ruthenia. Right, I remember. Okay, so this plot is a goer. Because we've got guys who we can... You know what? Let's use the right-click method. So we just look at these people. We right-click here, send gift. We're there. Excellent. You know, that's almost more effort, isn't it? The only thing it's stopping us from doing is reopening the intrigue screen, which I guess could be useful. And we'll just get this guy in on it. And that should be enough plotters to put it well over... what do you call it? Okay, that peasant revolt is over. So let's get rid of those troops. Now we can declare war again. Come on, Kiva, just give it up. It is not helping you. Excuse me. Yeah, see, we're at well over on 100%, so that should fire up at some point. We've built a training ground in Znojmo. There is nothing else to build there. And... oh, truce offer... oh, not truce, a surrender offer from Kiva. Thank you. So that's all that land. Let's deal with that quickly. So it's not very well developed land, and I honestly don't blame them because it's kind of the steps a little bit. Oops. There we go. Did I distribute these ones? Nope. Luckily there is a barony holding here. Let's just check that out. Reinhard. Reinhard is utter shit. Now, this is not part of a territory that we want to keep. So let's find ourselves a nice unimprisoned male Northern ruler, adult, Catholic, German. Order them by age. Order them by stewardship then. You. No, you're the heir to someplace. You're the Marshal of Narva. You'll do. You seem to be pretty good. How would you like to be? Well, excuse me for a moment. I'll just mark him as special real quick. Because I forgot, as usual, to form the duchy title. Ah, we can't usurp it for another 2 years. That's alright. We'll just give this guy most of the counties. Including the capital, which should be Sarkel. So we'll give him Sarkel. Let's also give him Deshti Kipchak and Don Potage. And we'll give some other people these ones. We will actually make Reinhard here Count of Sugrov, despite him being terrible at it. Let's give Count Ordolf here Sharakan, and we'll give Reinhard the other one, Copier, I think it was. Done. So now when it comes to it, the Count Ordolf should be able to form a duchy, and if he can't, we'll grab it for him and give it to him. There's a big fucking armies that our guys have raised up there to besiege Ruthenia. Do you need help with that? No, you're winning. Okay, let's see what we're doing here. These guys are coming up there. They'll be there shortly, hopefully before the tragic end of that war. Ah, here's a fight. And we've inherited the Duchy of Galloway and other titles from Prince Poppo, because Prince Poppo has finally succumbed to his injury. So that's up here. Let's build him a castle shipyard just for the lulz of it. Now, I believe there was a ducal title in there, which is somewhat of an issue. Yes, there was. So we need to give that to somebody. We're going to give that to another young German fellow who is not a blood relative and not the heir to someplace. You. You're kind of shit at diplomacy, but that's fine. I would like you to be the new Duke of Galloway. Sorted. Oh, and how are we doing up here? Wonderful. Okay, so now we're only at 83%. We can't do anything about the negotiations here, so we're just going to head on over into Moray and take it. I'm sure the wife won't mind. And we're being besieged over here, these guys. They might be able to do something about that. Maybe. Probably not. Alright, we've won this war. So we've taken this place. Now that's part of the Duchy of Mali, so we're going to give it to Count Sieghard here. But Count Sieghard is actually kind of shit at stewardship. And where was the capital of the Kingdom of Mali? It was probably Timbuktu, yeah. So we're really just looking for a good duke here. So let's find another fellow. Ulrich. Ulrich will do. And give him the county of Gurma. Now we have truces with Songhai. Yep. Now we have truces with Mali. We don't have truces with Tegeza. I know that. But Tegeza has a supply limit issue of 14.4. So what we're going to do is split the army and then split one of those armies in half, so that now we have one army of 10, one army of 5, and one army of 5, basically. Grab the 10,000 army, grab one of the 5s, select both of those. See how I did that by getting them both to move so that they're in totally different geographical locations. Combine them. So now we have an army which has a max of 1600, which isn't that far below the 14.4 up in Tegeza. And we'll send them up, while the other one just sort of lurks in Timbuktu. So instead of having to, normally to split an army up, you've got to go into the new unit and divvy out bullshit and all that sort of stuff. So what we've done there is just a really nice, easy way of just dealing with it. Oh, and 1, 2, 3. So now we need one more. Let me just divvy these guys around a bit. One more nice retinue and we'll have another complete army. Zikris have appeared in Kufa. That's fine. We're just going to settle in for a siege here. They have a lot of troops. And how's the rest of it going? You're making progress. You're making progress. I have had trouble with a vassal of mine and tried everything I could think of to help us get along better. Chancellor Count Johann managed to do in one day what I had struggled with for several weeks when he told me to just ask the vassal for forgiveness. That was all that was needed. Okay, so the Prince of Skane's opinion of us will go up. And we lose a bit of money because we, give the Chancellor a reward. That's fine. The other option was to not give the Chancellor a reward, which gave us an opinion penalty with the Chancellor. Which, gotta be honest, Chancellor's doing fine. Inge died a natural death. That was my lover, I believe. And Geba Yaha has converted to the Catholic faith. We're doing pretty well at this conversion business. I mean, look, the Arabian Peninsula is coming along nicely. Well, yeah, apart from this one province here. And we should get a lot more conversions down here and in Iberia and all that sort of stuff. And down here in Mali as well, because the West African religion will be pretty shattered, to be honest, by these holy wars that we do against them. That's the reason why we do holy wars now. Because we reduce their moral authority. Same thing here, we'll be reducing the moral authority of the Druz heresy, I believe. All nice and good fun. Barracks were built in Munchen. which means we can now build the upgraded militia training ground, and barracks are as upgraded as they will ever be. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Just gonna let it run while I get up from the computer and fix a minor spot of hypoglycemia which I appear to be experiencing. So if you hear me chewing, that will be why. But honestly, we're in a pretty good position right now. Oh, this is delicious. Oh, gosh. No, pause the game. It looks like Duke Gerhard managed to get himself killed. That's unfortunate. He was a really good commander. So let's educate this one, or re-educate this one, for military. With this one. Okay. Great. Thank you. So yeah, they actually managed to kill one of my flank commanders. Somewhat irritating. Not too big a deal. Let's just reassign him there. Lundberg. Yeah, let's put him in. I don't think he was actually a member of any of our proper armies. Not in Lundberg, anyway. Yeah, we've got nothing in Lundberg, so that was somebody else's war. And we're trying to chew these slowly so that they don't exactly, you know, come up on the microphone, but you know what? Bugger it. Oh, tasty, so tasty. Alright, so what's happened here is the adventurer decided to white peace out. Pretty annoying, but you know, just something to deal with. Our child here requires an education, probably a diplomacy from the looks of it. So, Grand Master of the Knights Templar, no, that would be in Occitan, so that's an issue. Just he's got all these pretty awesome stats. Oh, let's give it to the Mayor of Ortenburg, that'll do. Hopefully the adventurer here doesn't cancel out of this war as soon as we've, you know, gotten him into positives, because I want him to win. He must win. Oh. So I've just changed the flavors. Okay, let's go through the jelly beans here. I have been eating the black ones, which is a bit racist because I ate them first, but you know, they're licorice, so I don't particularly like that flavor as much. Just had the green ones. Green appears to be apple. Delicious. Oh, yes. And now I've got some reds and a yellow left. I believe the yellow is pineapple? It's definitely not lemon, so I guess it is pineapple. Although now that I think about it, that might be a lemon taste. Very underwhelming. So red should be strawberry. Oh yeah. Oh, it's a good flavour. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's some messy eating I'm getting in there. It sounds a lot worse than it is, trust me. Anyway, in the process of that, we've managed to, well, not only give our guy a positive war score, but take the whole province, so we're moving back to deal with these guys. And then we'll continue on down here to help out our buddies in their own siege. Unfortunately, that is the end of the jelly beans, so... good, Duke Hartwig managed to usurp the... Okay, so he usurped Novgrad-Seversky, and the king just basically took Bryansk, because fuck y'all. We're still plotting to murder him, and it should should turn out fairly well. We'll just move our guys to Novgorod Seversky so that they're in position to strike. We can't steal the Kingdom of Ruthenia because he still holds land within the de jure area. Excuse me. But it hasn't quite bolstered our... Yeah, we can't quite get that other knight retinue just yet. Factions are weak as shit. How's Scotland going? Yeah, reasonably. Just slowly besieging our wife's castle. There's really nothing much else that we can do at this point. I mean, we can't attack these guys for another 3 years. We can't attack this guy for another 7 years. We've got we do have a truce with Aquitaine. We can't attack them for another 3 years. Oh yeah, so really we're just going to have to move into Tegeza. Let's see, it's going to take us a while to get there. 23rd of January. So we'll basically wait until the start of January and then get our Holy War for Timbuktu on. We'll still be giving the lands to the Duke of Timbuktu. This just lets us drive down that moral authority stat a little bit. Good, we've got Prince Ilya, the Prince of Ruthenia, is going to help us murder his father. Alright, let's get that war going on. The Holy Father is most concerned about the loyalties of the bishops of our realm, such as this one. He's asking us to replace one of them. So he wants us to basically change... I gotta think about this. He wants us to change a guy out. That'll give us 50 piety. Ignoring it will lose us 50 piety and maybe he'll get a little pissy with us. It doesn't cause us to get papal investiture or anything, so we'll follow the demands. Does he like us better because of that? I don't see anything. But you know he would have disliked it if we'd, you know, done anything else. Whew. Factions doing faction stuff. The siege up here appears to be going absolutely fine. We've chased those dudes out, so let's follow one down. The Teutonic Order. The Order of Brothers of the German House of St. Mary in Jerusalem has been formed, sponsored by the Catholic Church and the Holy Roman Emperor. That's me. The Teutonic Order, much like the Knights of St. John and the Knights Templar, primarily protect and care for pilgrims to the Holy Land, but will serve any Catholic ruler willing to pay for their upkeep. Being a religious order, they will only fight against heretics and infidels. Helfen, Hueren, Harin. So, Hochmeister Gotthard of the Teutonic Order here has presumably got land. I don't know why it's showing us Count Giselbert here. But yeah, we've got a new Teutonic, we've got a new Holy Order. That's great. Now we have 5 of the damn things. 3 really powerful ones. The Knights Hospitaller of, you know, 5,800, and the Knights Templar and Teutonic Order have 7,700 men each. Whereas the Knights of Santiago and the Knights of Calatrava only have 2,800, but hey, nothing to sneeze at. If we ever get in a lot of trouble against a religious enemy, such as the Mongols, that could really come in handy. Zaragoza converted. That should be most of the Iberian Peninsula, shouldn't it? Zaragoza is, yep, up there. So There's only Calatayud, Albarrachan, and Algeciras. They're the only, well, apart from Menorca over here, but that doesn't really count in my mind. Good. Ultimately good. The Duke of Tver has just declared a claim on Ruthenia here. So I'm actually going to remove this plot. It's no longer necessary. And I'm just going to sit my guys over here in Sugrov. Because there is no way that the Duke can lose this fight. And that will be Ruthenia gone. We'll be recreating it, of course. It's part of what we, ultimately wanted. And after we take Aquitaine off this guy in a few years, we're already a kinslayer, aren't we? We are already a kinslayer. Let's just start a plot against him and see how we can do. Incredibly poorly. We can get one guy in for 12%. Even with a Jewish spy master. Even if we paid the Jewish because he has moral qualms. Really? Come on. Whatever. Sometimes there are just things you can't do. Now, we could donate some money to the Teutonic Order if we wanted to. It's only just really appeared, hasn't it? I'm going to do that because that's worth a lot of piety. Absolutely. We could keep doing that apparently. Oh, right. It only gets us the piety now. This one is attempting to fabricate a claim on the county of Chotiza. Does she even have land? She doesn't. She's also insane. Whatever. I doubt she's going to be able to get the plot power to deal with it. Right, new mayor in Pisa, it's fine. Yep, siege up here was successful. Wonderful. We're just going to bruise past the last place. Okay, so now our guy has 18% war score. We're going to move into Cantia in February. How long does it take us to get to Cantia? A fair amount of time, so I'm going to try playing a bit of tricky buggers. We're going to move this guy down here and maybe into Yugra and then up, see if that gets us a bit of a quicker thing, because I do want to catch this army. If I catch this army, it'll be fine. Hilariously, he's having a substantial issue because he must not have military organization 4 or over. You can see there the supply limit in Yugra for him is 318. And that's because they're Sumanesco and his army is Catholic. On a courtesy visit to the abbot of a local monastery, you observe a group of monks translating beautifully illustrated books into your language. I will buy a few books. Perhaps I'll even read them. Lose 40 gold, get 30 prestige, 20% chance of +1 learning, or don't do it. A little bit of extra prestige or piety, whatever it was. No big deal. Let it rot. These guys have almost taken this place by themselves. I mean, I'm going to come along and help them out, because it's what bros do. But, that's pretty cool of them. And we can stop monitoring that guy. Wow, almost taken his place. Just did take that place? Okay. Great. Jousting lists were built in Moldorf. So, let's go barracks. Yeah, and we're going to attack this place. Now, I just remembered that our assassination plot freed up. The Count of Mali may be assassinatable. Jeez, we can just keep on donating money to him for points? That's pretty cool. We can't vassalize him or nothing. Oh well. Invite everybody that we can. So that's like 2 people, huh? Okay, we've taken Tagazer. It was a single county, a single holding county, so thank you. You can come back down here. How does supply limits in these places? Mali itself is fine. Right, so I don't want to hold that because it's de jure part of Timbuktu. So I will give it to the Duke of Timbuktu. Thank you. Now there is a revolt over here. I could declare war on the revolt. But to be honest, I only need a truce. I only need the Truce of Songhai to go away. And interestingly enough, it's for this guy's rule on Songhai. It looks like he will win because he just has so many more troops. Because we can see everything here except in this province itself, and I doubt he's got dudes in there. Because Tadmeka only has a land connection with Gao, so for Songhai to have gotten troops into Tadmeka, they would have had to go through these 6,000. Really doubt that happened. So if we just hang around here for a while, we should be able to just do a holy war for the rest of Songhai at some point. Okay, we've got 70%. We can get the Spy Master on board. That's a win. And you know what, while we're here, we'll just get the rest of these guys as well, because, well, YOLO. You too. Thank you. So it's not a everybody get gang stabby, we're just hiring 5 people. No big deal. And we'll probably move our guys down to Ghana. And after that we can come back up here and deal with this guy and all that sort of stuff. Grab Tlemcen. And then we're going to have to deal with the Chulanids in some way that just shatters them. When this guy dies, hopefully it'll do something. Their decadence is phenomenal. They're phenomenal. They've got a really big realm. It's going to take us a lot of wars to take the whole place. So, yeah. Going to be a bit of an issue, really. It will be an issue for next time, though, because we are quickly creeping up to that point where we say, you know, goodbye. But not just yet. Faction bullshit. 6.2 in independence, that's the biggest. Okay, good. We've got a stab attempt at the, what do you call it? Duke of Mali, or whatever he wants to call himself. Okay, so that's actually a really quick move into Yagra, isn't it? It's only going to take us a few days, and then from there head up to there. Yep, cool. And then just over a month to get up there. Not quick enough, but we are forcing their move into Mansia, and we had a really quick move into Mansia. We succeeded with the plot. He died not knowing the name of his killer. And that has... oh, he must have been running under Gavelkind, because that has split his realm into 2. No worries. That just really makes my job a lot easier. Wonderful. Yes, let her rot. How are we doing up here anyway? Come on, buddy. I've almost given you 100% war score. There, you have 100% war score. Like, that's it. I'm not helping out anymore. That's 100%. My guys are moving back down to Lothion. Seriously. Alright, let's see here. I want to complete this move so that I actually remember to do it. So what happens is... Thank you! So King Roderick here is still King of Scotland. But we don't have a... Right, he only doesn't like us because he's ambitious and he wants control of a lot of stuff. We do not have a truce with him. Unfortunately, we also can't usurp the Kingdom of Scotland for another 5 years. Despite, I think we've got the numbers for it. I'm not going to count them up. Don't worry. Just don't worry about that. Right, so on the 25th of May, these guys move out. We stop our move, head back. We'll get there in a few days. I don't think these guys can get anywhere. Yeah, they're trying to move back to Cancha, but they're going to be late. So that should be worth a little bit of war score for our buddy. %, worth of war score. Barracks were built in Passau, nothing else to build there, that's fine. So now he's up to 38%. And he should be getting a bit more than that in a moment. So just going to start some moves on, but we're going to call that the end of the episode because it is. So as usual, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'll get to them as soon as possible. If you liked the video, please give it a like. And if you would like to see more, well, please subscribe. In the meantime, though, I've been Sub. You've been yourselves. Later.